this video, I'm going to be introducing a new product I'm going to be selling. This is my own handguard design. The one we're looking at right now is a prototype. This one is a 15-inch handguard, or it's actually 14.9 inches. I'll talk about the sizes later. It is manufactured out of 6061 T6 aluminum. The outside dimensions are 2 inches. Inside dimensions are 1.75. This particular one has a Type 3 hard coat anodized black finish. I'm also going to be offering these in Cerakote for an upcharge, and I hope to offer all of the different Cerakote colors. I haven't worked out the details yet, but chances are if Cerakote makes the color, I'll be able to get one of these handguards coated in that color. Right now, I have 4 possible lengths that I can bring to market, and for you, my user community, I would like to hear your comments about the handguard, the lengths, and any other types of comments you might think of. The 4 lengths, this one would be 14.9 inches. The other option would be 13.7 inches. A third option would be 8.9 inches. And another option would be 7.7 inches. Now, the reason these are actually odd sized is because of the hexagonal design that I have incorporated into this. The hexagonal cuts on the end of the handguard, and then taking into consideration the threaded holes for the Picatinny Rails section. To get things symmetrical, the sizes ended up being a little bit out of the norm. And on top of that, we have the proprietary barrel nut assembly shown back here, barely in frame, but that adds a little bit of length to the handguard. So with this particular one, the total length, including the barrel nut, ends up being 15.25 inches. Now, the weight of this handguard, the 15-inch one, the one we're looking at here, the weight without the barrel nut is 9 ounces. With the complete barrel nut assembly, it's 13.6 ounces. So it's extremely light weight. I don't have weights and total length measurements on the other handguards. I haven't got prototypes on those just yet. My plan is to market several sizes of these, or maybe all 4 of them. It depends on demand. They will ship with 1 2-inch Picatinny Rail section and 1 4-inch Picatinny Rail, or 4.5-inch Picatinny Rail section. There are other lengths available as an option for the Picatinny Rails: 6.5 inches, 8.5 inches, 11.5, and 14.5 being the longest. Now, what I'm going to show on this is I'm going to show a couple of the Picatinny Rail sections mounted to this handguard so you can see what it looks like. The manufacturing process of this should allow me to do minimum runs and keep them unfinished, and then when orders come in, whether it's black or a Cerakote, then I can tell the manufacturer what color to Cerakote the handguard in, and then they could Cerakote it and ship it out to me. So that'll be a lot faster than placing an order and having them CNC machine each individual handguard. So there'll be a slight delay for the colored handguards. The black ones, I plan on having some of them in stock. Now, I know you're thinking, all right, what's the price? Well, I can't really talk about the pricing because it's really not firmed up just yet. Pricing, whenever you get into manufacturing, pricing is all based on quantities. If I can place a large order then I can pass the savings on to you. You can get a great deal on a great looking handguard. But if I order the minimum quantities, the handguards are going to cost a bit more. So a 15-inch is going to be somewhere in the $200 to $300 range. That's about all I can say about the 15. The other ones I don't have prices nailed down just yet. The prices on the Picatinny Rails, I'm not going to talk about those either. Those can get quite expensive. For example, the retail price on a 14.5-inch Picatinny Rail is $54. So that's roughly $50 on the price of this handguard to get a full-length Picatinny Rail on the top. I do have one of those here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the handguard so you can see what it looks like, and we'll talk about that. I also have a 2-inch I'm going to put on here, and we'll talk about that. Okay, this is the 14.5-inch top Picatinny Rail section. You can see that it aligns with the end of the handguard over here. Back near where the barrel nut is, you'll notice there's a gap. And that gap's about a 1/2 inch. So if you figure that your upper receiver Picatinny Rail section is going to end right there, you're going to have about a 1/2 inch gap. I'm not real happy about that, but unfortunately there's nothing I can really do about it. These are all preset, pre-manufactured rail sections, and this is the longest one. To get something cut to fit exactly to my handguard would cost a lot of money. So that's just not doable, at least not right now. Let's take a look at a 2-inch Picatinny Rail section in place of this 14.5. Okay, here's a actually I think it's 2.2-inch Picatinny Rail section mounted up front where we would normally put a backup sight. So you can see what that looks like. I don't have one of the 4.5-inch rail sections, so I can't show you what that looks like. That's, but figure it's just going to be twice as long as the one right there. So those are the two of the rail options I'm going to provide for this handguard. Okay, moving on towards the rear of this handguard, you'll notice engraved into the handguard is my 2phast tactical logo. It's not my complete logo, it's just it's a new form, a shortened form, just 2phast. I was unable really to come up with a design to fit my full company name, 2phast Tactical, on this handguard, either horizontally or one word stacked on top of the other. It just didn't look right. So redid the logo, made a shortened version of it that would fit within one of the hexagonal areas. This is how pretty much all of them are going to ship. They're going to ship like this. So the logo is going to be color matched to the handguard. I will be offering the option of getting the logo color filled in red or color filled in white, or if it was a flat dark earth handguard, I could color fill the logo in black. So definitely have some options. And the way I designed the logo and the way I had them laser cut the logo into the handguard, it should be very receptive to taking some paint. So you can look forward to seeing me color fill this particular one in red at some point in the near future. We'll be doing that. Now the barrel nut, well, I guess before we get into the barrel nut, let's talk about the end of the handguard. As you can see on the handguard here, end of it isn't flat. There's basically half hexagon cuts in the end of it. Yeah, if you can get an idea what that looks like. I wanted to do something unique with the end of the handguard. Most manufacturers don't do anything. They might do an angle cut on their handguard. I wanted to do something unique, but I also wanted to do something that flowed with the design of this handguard. And the half hexagon cuts kind of reminded me of the towers in a castle, and it just worked out in this design. So that's the end of the handguard. All of the handguards are going to have this cut. That's going to be my signature cut with this handguard. Now, these handguards use a proprietary barrel nut, and it is a two-piece barrel nut. So we have a aluminum outer section here, and this is what the handguard bolts to, and then we have an inner steel barrel nut. This barrel nut torques down using a standard torque barrel nut tool, and can be torqued down to the normal 40 foot-pounds. And just see if we can get this out. Very well machined. Now, I have not installed one of these yet. And I'll also note that I am not responsible for the design of this barrel nut. This is a design the manufacturer came up with to go with this handguard. So it's a unique design. I don't see any issues with it. And in a follow-up video to this, I'm actually going to install this handguard, and we'll install this barrel nut, and I'll let you know if I encounter anything. I don't expect there to be an issue with this design. This design has actually been around for a while, and it's used by several large manufacturers that sell similar types of handguards. So this outer barrel nut here, you can see these holes right here. This is for the gas tube. You would remove your existing handguard, your gas block, and your gas tube. You would remove your existing barrel nut and or delta ring if applicable, and remove your barrel. And this aluminum piece would be installed first. You would time it so your gas tube goes through this hole, and then install your barrel, and then you would screw this down over the barrel and torque it down. So it's a unique design. Once it's actually in place and you reassemble your rifle, you would just slide the handguard on and line up the holes and put your bolts on. And there's 6 bolts that hold the handguard on. So that is the barrel nut assembly for this handguard. Now, at this point, if you've stayed all the way through the video here and my ramblings, if you have comments about the lengths, which lengths I should offer, or which rails I should offer with the handguard, or specific colors, or any particular comments about this, since this is a new design and this is a prototype, I can make some changes. Probably not to the design of this. I spent quite a bit of time with the manufacturer on this design, working with the manufacturer on a design, and this is the one I signed off on. So the actual design is not going to change, but any of the options that might be included with it, or colors, and so on, I'm open for suggestions. Also, just in case the details are not coming through sometimes it's hard to make out details when you can't see what's on the other side of the handguard. So let me take a colored piece of paper and we'll stick it down in the end of the handguard here. And what that should do is allow you to see a little bit more of the detail. These hexagon cutouts here, I played around with the idea of having these straight cuts. I didn't really like the straight cuts on the hexagon holes. So these actually all have a bevel on them, which I think aesthetically is more pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Definitely please leave comments. If you want to buy one of these, you can definitely leave a comment about that. That would help me gauge what types of opening orders to place and or what sizes to place. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your feedback.